What's good? It's your boy Fannon. Gonna do a little short live stream. I was gonna make a video, but I figured I'd just, it's Christmas Eve, so I'd rather talk to whoever I can talk to in the live stream. So I hope all is well. A little bit of a different time. What's going on, B Mac? Charles D's, what's going on, man? Macadon one, what it do? What it do? What it do? Yes, sir. Lowland Profits, man. Wholeness and balanced family to a same to you, my man. That's what we all looking for, man. Abel Mahari, man. Much love and thank you for the support you've shown to the channel. Harold Jones, my man. What's good? Ronald Gomez, what's good? Yeah, man. Just not for too long, man. Not for too long. What's going on, Grace Tyrell 04? Salute to you. Reggie the Tree, man. What's going on, my man? Jay Junior the Superdog. What's going on, man? Charles Z said, with my lady's family, slowly losing my damn mind. Man, I can relate. My wife's in the other room, so I ain't gonna say it too loud. God dog, I can relate. Yeah, man. Merry Christmas to you, Mr. J Dub TX 20 Texas. But look, man, this is what I wanted to talk about, man, because I was sitting back here thinking about what's going on with these PBC fights, man. It's something I think, what's going on, Alivoso? Charles D. He always said, God dog, man, I'm telling you. Me and my father-in-law, dog, we do not usually, he don't like me very much. He don't think I'm good enough. I never thought he thought I was good enough for his daughter. And seriously, for bits and stretches in my life, I wasn't. He was right. But hey, man, shit. It is what it is, man. Howdy, what's going on, Frank Sparty, man? Yeah, these judges are crazy, man. But look, Darnell Kirkland, this is what I wanted to say about that, man. And I'm gonna get out of the chat for a second. You guys can expect more of this out of the PBC, man. You can expect more close fights, controversial decisions, quote unquote robberies, and all that out of the PBC because they have more parity. They're making fights that where there's a bigger chance that somebody who you don't expect to win can perform well. So, like, I was looking back on this Jamal Charlo fight. What's good, Johnny John? I'm not going to talk too long, man. Now, Woodstar TV, let me tell you, man, here's the thing. You just have to understand this, man. At least this is what I think. Boxing is, there's a bigger number of very good fighters than a lot of people think. And as boxing fans, we tend to think it's either all or nothing, right? So either this fighter is going to destroy that other fighter or that fighter is going to destroy him. And we're not really happy with like a middle ground, you know? So when we see, like, I've never seen anybody, I very rarely ever see people see a draw and be like, oh yeah, that's fair. You know, neither one of those guys really deserved to win the fight. It ends with a draw. But the reason that you have a draw in boxing is because there are circumstances where neither fighter really does enough to convincingly beat the other fighter. And you're going to see more of those type of fights. And when you're going to see more of those type of fights when fights are evenly matched, when fighters are evenly matched. When you have two fighters where one is, an A-level fighter and the other one's a C-level fighter, that's when you see one fighter just walk through the other fighter. Because that fighter he's just not on his level, right? So like if you take, yeah, I'm expecting more too. Absolutely, Grace Terrell. What's good, Johnny John? So like if you take two fights, take the Jamal Charlo fight against Kobarov and take the Canelo Alvarez fight versus Rocky Fielding. Kobarov was closer to the level of Jamal Charlo than Canelo was against Rocky Fielding. Rocky Fielding didn't belong in the ring with him. And that was that, in my opinion, was a circumstance where I watched that fight, and like I've said, I say it every time I say Canelo's name. I'm a Canelo Alvarez fan. It was clear that that guy didn't belong in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. I mean, that's when you get that. When you can have a guy, Canelo can walk up to a guy and just say, "Oh, I'm going to hit him with left hand and right hand body shots until he takes a knee." You know, the guy's just not. I mean, that's just like a barroom fight, man. I mean, it's just two guys that are not on the same level. But where you have two guys who are on the same level, you start seeing, more thinking, more periods of time where like one guy will be doing well, and then the other guy will do well. And you got to kind of watch the ebbs and the flows of that, because these guys are closer to the same level of each other, right? And what I think that you're going to see with the PBC is you're going to see, because they have I'm going to say the number 200 and 160 or whatever, but they've got a lot of fighters who are B plus A level and B plus level fighters. I don't think there's a lot of, A level fighters in boxing, just because, I think it's on a curve, but the top level guys, there are some top level guys and fighters, but there's a lot of B level fighters and guys, B level fighters. But with the PBC, what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of A level fighters fighting a lot of B level fighters. And you're going to see a lot of B plus level fighters fighting a lot of B minus level fighters, right? So you'll see fighters like Uskatagi, who's probably a B plus, might be an A level fighter. You're going to see him fighting Caleb Plant. And Caleb Plant might be, what is Caleb Plant? B level fighter. He might be an A level fighter. We just don't know, because Caleb Plant, hasn't had enough fights. But you're going to see a close contested fight. You're going to see a close contested Jamal Charlo, Korobov. That's a closer level fight, right? Those guys are within the same range of ability, especially when a fighter, when you take into consideration talent versus experience and all that. So I just think that when we watch these PBC fights, that you can expect more. You can expect a lot of controversy, because it's easy to see, for two reasonable people to have disagreements about what happens in a close fight. You know what I mean? And that's the way it should be. Hey, what's going on, Seth and Vizo, man? Shout out to you as well, man. Shout out to you as well out there in South Africa. Damon Hood said, "What's up, Fannon? That shit wasn't a robbery. They don't have a name for that shit yet." I mean, it's a close fight. I mean, you might say it's more than a robbery, but I'm telling you, I thought that fight was probably closer than Jamal Charlo fans thought it was. And hey, look, man, Tony Harrison is a good fighter. I don't think that it's fair to crap on his performance and try to diminish him, man. Jamal Charlo has to go back and figure out what he needs to do in order to make that a convincing win for him, where either you dominate him so much on the scorecards and then make the rounds so one-sided that you really can't argue with it, or he's going to have to knock the dude out. But Tony Harrison, I don't think he's going to knock him out, because Tony Harrison is in there making sure that he's not getting knocked out, Woodstar TV, I did not know how the Jermell Charlo was crying. I hope he bounced back. I mean, that's reasonable. I mean, if you're not upset, something's wrong with you. If Jermell Charlo was not upset about that fight and losing his belt, then something's wrong with him. I mean, the crying thing is how you express, your disappointment. But I mean, if he wasn't it would be a bigger problem if he wasn't upset. Now, crying, I mean, that's just how how do you express your frustration? Does it get to the point where you're going to shed tears, in public? Or is it something you're going to take stone-faced and, be like, hey, man, I respect the judges, like a Joseph Parker type. I respect the judges. Let me go back to the drawing board. I'd like to get a rematch. I want to go back at this again. I got to figure out what I got to do. Jermell Charlo, He's obviously a very, very emotional guy. That's why he gets into all that talking, exerting all that energy talking and, getting in people's faces and just generally being a rowdy type of dude. Well, the other side of that is when you still have that same amount of emotion, but you have to now express it after you experience defeat. Then it could easily come out in tears. I don't think any more or less of them because of that, man. Truth Speaker said, "What's good for Fannon? What's good with you, brother? I hope Canelo fights Charlo next or Jacobs." Yeah, we'll take him, but he's not gonna. He's not gonna. They're gonna ride that out. That I mean, he's not in that. He's not in that. He's not in that phase of his career where he's got to prove something. The other fighters are going to have to. Unfortunately, the other fight because of the promoter. I'm still gonna not say that is that's not Canelo, because I believe Canelo's a real fighter, man. I believe, like, especially the way he went after Gennady Golovkin when Gennady Golovkin was doing all that talking and disrespecting him, and Abel Sanchez was disrespecting him. Man, dude, that dude he had a chip on his shoulder and he went after that dude, And I think the same thing will be the case with Jamal. I mean, if his advisors and everybody pushed for him to get Canelo, to fight Charlo, I think he would do it. But I just don't think Oscar De La Hoya wants to do that. And I think that has more to do with the PBC than it had the PBC Golden Boy promotion relationship more than anything else. But that's just what I think, man. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here forever, man. Yeah, tears of anger, man. People cry, man. Anybody that tells you they ain't never cried is lying, And the question is, do you care enough, man? And that's a real frustrating thing, man. You don't know, you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it till you get back in the ring. And if he dedicates himself, like you look at Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. could have lost that Jose Luis Castillo fight. He really could have. The first one, he could have lost that. There were a lot of people who thought he lost the fight. And there were a lot of people, there are a lot of people who, other than the judges, that thought he lost the fight. And, Floyd Mayweather Jr. was very fortunate that he did not get that loss. And he said, and this is, like I said earlier in the live stream I did earlier, that's one of the things that I really respect about Floyd. Floyd was like, look, man, let's run that back. Let's run that back. People thinking that I lost to you. I don't think I lost to you. Or, I don't remember. He said but he knew it was a tough fight. And he said, man, I'm going to go I need to answer these questions. And that's one of the things, man. There's certain fights, in my opinion, there's certain fights that fighters take that really prove to me that they're great. Floyd, what he says outside the ring, I'm no fan of. Okay? I'm not. And I don't appreciate how he talked about he's greater than Ali and all that. But there's a nice distance between greatness and Ali. You can be great and still not be an Ali. And there is no doubt in my mind, or any reasonable person's mind, that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a great fighter. And I think the thing for me about him that stands out the most and tells me, this is a great fighter, is the fact that he went back after that Jose Luis Castillo fight that people doubted him on, and he went back and he took that fight again. And he beat him easy. He beat him convincingly the second time, but he went back to the drawing board. And he was like, obviously, I wasn't in this camp, obviously, but he made that second fight a lot easier than he made the first. Same thing for Ray Leonard. Ray Leonard lost to Roberto Duran, and he was like, I got to do something different. Right? He wanted the rematch. Roberto Duran, can make all the excuses he wants about the rematch. I don't remember. Somebody can tell me that's, some of my boxing historians out there can tell me, but I don't remember Sugar Ray Leonard making an excuse about why he lost to Roberto Duran, other than he fought the wrong fight. And if he said he fought the wrong fight, then he feels like he lost. But he was like, you know what? I got to do this to this guy. He went right back in there and he got that, and he got that payback. Right? Made him a great fighter. Same thing with Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns. He wound up knocking out Thomas Hearns. He couldn't figure out Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns, between the two, as far as those matchups go, Thomas Hearns is the better fighter. Thomas Hearns won in my opinion, Thomas Hearns won everything but maybe the last couple rounds of the first fight. That's a bad style. That was a bad style. Bad matchup for Sugar Ray Leonard. But he took the rematch. After the knockout, he didn't run from it. He took the rematch. Trying to prove that, hey, man, no, I'm better than this dude. I can show better than I made late. Yeah, I got the knockout at the end, and I rallied for the win, but I can do better. And then he fought him a third time. You know, personally, my belief is if it wasn't for the knockout, Thomas Hearns would have won all three of those fights. But the greatness for me, in my opinion, the greatness of Sugar Ray Leonard was shown by his desire to keep fighting these guys. And that's what I think we're missing in boxing today. Floyd Mayweather Jr. showed it, though. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was rematched. Not only Jose Luis Castillo, but what's the guy? Marcus Maidana. Rematched Marcus Maidana. You know, that's what boxing's supposed to be. That's what boxing's supposed to be. Boxing's not supposed to be blowout or bust. You know, that's not what sports are supposed to be. We living in this ESPN era. That's the only, when I look at ESPN's ratings falling, I'm like, man, please. Yeah, you deserve it. Because we're living in this ESPN highlight era where the win doesn't count. Like there's very little credence given to the fact that a guy fights a very, very close fight and he pulls it off. Whenever we get a close fight and somebody pulls it off, it's a robbery. Or the person exposed themselves. They're not as good as what you thought they were. But it's like, you know, he stalled Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Yeah, he did. He did. Then he took the fight. You know, Marvelous Marvin Hagler should have fought him again. We might not have had a problem. Marvelous Marvin Hagler got in his feelings and retired. Yes, I could see why Marvelous Marvin Hagler thought he won that fight. But Marvelous Marvin Hagler shouldn't have retired. Marvelous Hagler shouldn't have taken his ball and gone home. Marvelous Marvin Hagler should have went back and got his belt back. Instead of stewing on that shit. He's still stewing on it. If Marvelous Marvin Hagler thought he really won that fight, then Marvelous Marvin Hagler should have done what Jermell Charlo did and say, look, I want my fucking rematch within 4 months. And I'm not going to leave a question. I'm not going to leave it a question. But, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard was in his brain. And Sugar Ray Leonard's in Marvelous Marvin Hagler's brain to this day. You know? Fannon, Charlo's punch selection was his biggest issue. Whatever it is, he needs to go back to the drawing board and fix that. Curtis Sanders said Hearns and Mugabe took a lot out of Hagler. Man, I can respect that. But if you thought you won the fight, then you go ahead and go back and try to get your belt again. You know, go back and try to get your belt again. I mean, it didn't change anything. Him sitting on his pride, he still lost the fight. Other than some, you know, some real old school, you know, boxing cats that remember the fight, and you know, there's less and less of us every day. He's still gone down as having lost that fight, man. No moral victories don't count for shit. He should have taken that fight. He should have rematched that fight. Shit, both them cats close to 60. Marvin Hagler need to call up Sugar Ray Leonard tomorrow. Be like, look, man, you look like you in good shape. I'm in good shape. Let's fucking do it. Fuck it. We can do this shit for free. I'll whip your ass. You know what I'm saying? Chevin Body, man. What's good, Chevin Body? Much love in the super chat. He said if AJ fight in UK and Wilder can get AJ to 30 million, I say take it. There will be no US pay-per-view at 5 p.m. ESPN already said. I say consider that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. If he wants to take the fight, if he don't want to take the fight, fuck him. Seriously. If Deontay Wilder don't want to fight AJ, fuck him and feed him beans. That's it. I'm down with whatever Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder wants to get him to 30 million and he accepts the fight, he's still not going to pay him that money. If he gets to 30 million, Chevin Body, that fight's not happening in the UK. There's not $30 million to give him. There's not $30 million to give him. Because his $30 million will have to be a payment out of the gross. right? You guaranteed $30 million on a $50 million fight. There's not enough money to pay everybody else. Any talk about Deontay Wilder getting $30 million in the UK and him being in it being anything less than an 80-20 split for Deontay Wilder, or maybe 70-30 split for Deontay Wilder, it's just that it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Straight up. There's not $30 million to give him. He's not in there. That's why I'm saying, when he said, if anybody's saying he made an offer of $28 million, they're lying. There's not that much money in there, dude. Telling me that, in my opinion, maybe there's something I don't understand. I don't think that there is. But it'll be like somebody telling me that somebody telling me they can hold their breath for 10 minutes underwater. Okay? You ain't holding your breath underwater for 10 minutes, you'll be dead. Okay? That's not how the human body works. That's not how finances work when you got $25. Unless they can get that pay-per-view, up to $50 a pay-per-view or 39 pounds a pay-per-view, the money's not there, dude. Unless they lift the average ticket price of a ticket, unless they lift the average ticket price to get into the place from 110 to 210, it's not going to happen. The money's just not there, dude. Marcus Johnson, what's good, man? I mean, dude, if you paid him $50 million flat fee, take it. $30 million flat fee, why not? Why not? $30 million flat fee? I would have no issue with him taking that fight. $30 million flat fee? But they're not going to offer him that. And I don't mean any $30 million flat fee unless, the fight doesn't make it at this particular level. And if it underperforms by 10%, then your payment is reduced to this. Dog, I'm trying to tell you, some of y'all, man, read some of these damn. Negotiating with somebody in bad faith is the biggest headache you will ever have in your life. It will make paying your taxes feel like shit, like a spades game or something. You got to read every word, get you an English major, and make sure you understand every comma in the place when you deal with somebody like that. But look, if they offer $30 million guaranteed, they could fight on the moon. It's $30 million guaranteed. He's going to walk away with $30 million if he wants to take it. But if he doesn't want to take it, he don't want to take it. I'm cool with it. Like I said, man, I don't care about Anthony Joshua, dude. Kevin Body, my man. And again, much love in the super chat. Let me hit this refresh button, man. First AJ Wilder fight, then has to be here. Then, hey, man, I appreciate that, man. Much love in the super chat. Look, man, if Deontay Wilder wants to do it, then Deontay Wilder can do it, man. Thought you told me not to talk about Anthony Joshua anymore, Chevin. Where this go, Chevin Body? Where this coming from, dog? Where's the new motivation coming from? Stay connected. What's good? He said, "What up, Fannon? AJ and his team is full of it." Yeah, man. Like I've told you, man. Hey, dude. Once you're the boy that cried wolf, come on, man. You're wasting people's times. And that's what you got to understand, man. And here, I'll try to do this as politely as I can for AJ fans, all right? What is this? Auntie D's, imagine if the Russian dude have a whole training camp. He lucky Russian got tired, but I'm dying for a lot of these fighters so they can fucking fight the best on the best. Yeah, I agree with the second part, dude. If they had a 12-week training camp, that means that Jamal Charlo has 12 weeks to prepare for him. Two left-handed fighters are not the same just because they're left-handed fighters. That shit goes both ways, man. If he had a 12-week training, he wasn't out of training. He wasn't out of shape. The dude was training, looking for a fight. He's hungry. That dude ain't getting. That dude is blocked. That dude is ducked. That's one of the very, very solid B to B plus level fighters out there in boxing that nobody gives any credit to unless they give a good fight to somebody that those guys don't like. Okay. Luis Ortiz is a nobody when people say Anthony Joshua should fight him. But if he gives Deontay Wilder a tough fight, Luis Ortiz got robbed. But then right back after that, if you bring him up relative to AJ again, all of a sudden he becomes a bum again. Okay? If you think Korobov is, if somebody, not necessarily you, but if you think that Korobov is that great a fighter, tell Demetrius Andre to fight him. I'm sure after that good performance against Jamal Charlo, people are going to be, chomping at the bit like a horse on a racetrack to fight him, right? No, they won't be. That's my point of this PBC conversation. The PBC is full of fighters that other people won't fight because they can defeat you. If you have a bad night against Korobov, he can beat you. If you have a bad night against Luis Ortiz or a bad 2 minutes against Luis Ortiz, he can knock you out. Okay? If you have a bad night, you're half-assing against J-Rock, J-Rock can beat you. Okay? If you're not on your P's and Q's against Danny Garcia can beat you. If you're not on your money against Sean Porter can beat you. If you're not on your money against Keith Thurman can beat you. If you're not on your money against Jose Escadague, he can beat you. David Benavidez can beat you. That's what it is, dude. If you go to these boxing matches, you think it's not feast or famine. Boxing is not a sport of feast and famine. The only time it's a sport of feast and famine is when you have promoters that make it feast all the time, that will not allow their fighters to get a shot against a good fighter. And ultimately, it hurts their fighter when they come up against somebody that's got to grind it out. Look at Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. had to grind it out. The first half of his career, this dude, I used to watch Floyd Mayweather Jr. fights, and I was like, damn, are they trying to get this dude beat? Damn. Gennaro Hernandez, then Diego Corrales, then in your first fight at 135 pounds, you're fighting Jose Luis Castillo? Emmanuel Augustus? If you don't pay Emmanuel Augustus off to lose, Emmanuel Augustus can beat you. Dude, I'm telling you, what you have with the PBC, you have all the fighters that were ducked. You have a whole lot of fighters that were ducked. These guys are not given silver spoons. They're not. Look at the fights that took place in other 154 pounds. Jermell Charlo had to beat J-Rock. He had to beat Austin Trout. Then he's got to fight Tony Harrison. Then he's going to have to fight, if he rematches Tony Harrison, then he's going to fight Jarrett Hurd. Dude, this shit is not Jaime Munguia versus Saddam Ali. Give him Saddam Ali. This is not Lomachenko. This is not Lomachenko versus Jason Sosa. Lomachenko versus Miguel Mariaga. Lomachenko versus Rocky Martinez. These dudes are getting fucking powder puffs handed to them. But like I said, the thing that pays off for the guy in this situation, it's like football in Texas. I haven't been in Texas long, but I know this. These boys can play ball. Football in Florida and Texas. Dude, if you're the best in Florida, dude, you have to have gone through a lot of people to get to the top, dude. If you're the best in Illinois, you might be okay. You might be okay. You know, being the best in Illinois is not the same as being the best in Texas because they have so many people. You might not, the 4th and 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th best football player in the state of Texas is probably better or is good or better than the best football player in the state of Illinois because there's so much competition. You look at the fights these guys are having. There's no way you think they were going to put Canelo Alvarez versus Corbo. Man, come on, man. Canelo Alvarez just fought Rocky Fielding. He walked up to that dude, hit that dude with he didn't even have to worry. He was like, shit. All I got to do is hit this dude with body shots. Right to the body, left to the body, right to the body, left to the body, right to the body, left to the body, fight over. Did he have to make any adjustments to Rocky Fielding? No. Did he have to overcome any issues with Rocky? No. Was he happy to make the fight with Rocky Fielding? Yes. How tall is Rocky Fielding? No, he's like He's there. Timber. Dog, just get ready. When you have cats in the PBC fighting each other, even if you have, not because it's the PBC, but because you have a very talent-rich pool of fighters. And if these other guys if these guys like Canelo won't fight him, dude, he's not getting Selecki. Well, I mean, Selecki was pretty decent. Better than I thought he was. But he was 150 pounder. You get my point, man. Chevin Body, I did until I saw him post white fight. I hate him. Shout out to Chevin Body, dog. Let me check the super chat. Man, seriously though, man, I just get ready for it, man, and celebrate it. And celebrate it. Sugar fantastic, man. Much love in the super chat. Thank you, sir. Look, man, and get used to it, dude. Get used to having controversial fights. Look at the two fights that Deontay Wilder took at heavyweight. Luis Ortiz, a southpaw counterpuncher. Then he steps in against Tyson Fury, a 6'9", 260-pound slick fighter. Who has to deal with that shit? A 6'9", 260 counterpunching slick fighter, and a 6 foot and a Cuban southpaw counterpuncher. Those are very awkward, hard to prepare for type of fights. And either one of those fights he could have wound up losing because there was parity in those fights, right? But whatever the haters, whatever you want to call it, you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, well, you can, but I'm going to call you out for it, wanting to have it both ways. If Deontay Wilder destroys somebody, then he was a bum. If he fights against a guy that is a very, very high level fighter and has difficulties with him and gets a win and a draw, then he got exposed. You're supposed to have hard fights with good fighters. That's what competition's supposed to be about. When you compete, it's not a competition if you know who's going to win. That's why I said I like Lomachenko's fight against Linares. That's my favorite fight for Vasily Lomachenko was Jorge Linares. Because for the first time, it was somebody that did not have a WBO belt. Somebody that caused him problems, knocked him down. Now, is Jorge Linares the best 135-pounder? No. He is not the best 135-pounder. No. I don't think Jorge Linares beats Richard Comey. But, hey, it wasn't a fight where you knew what was going to happen. When Lomachenko was fighting Nomaschenko, that's because he's fighting guys he shouldn't be in the ring with. The guys that were he was fighting against knew he shouldn't be in the ring with him. And we're like, I showed good enough. This dude is 2 weight classes above me, and he is because he's a lightweight. He's a better fighter than me. I came in here to lose. I put on a good showing. That's it. I'm going to live to fight another day. But when he got in there with guys that were trying to, I think Jorge Linares was trying to win. I think Jose Pedraza was just trying not to look bad. But dude, if for some reason, if Vasily Lomachenko got in the ring with the 140-pounders, if he gets in the ring with Mikey Garcia, then he's going to be dealing with somebody that fully believes that they have the ability, and you're going to see a close competition. You're going to see something where it's like, okay, this dude thinks he can win. That dude thinks he can win. This guy actually has a chance to win. That guy has a chance to win. That's competition. When both fighters have a chance to win. If you're making fights, or all you're doing is taking fights or making fights where the other guy has no chance, where's the glory in that? Where's the glory in that? Ali's career is made off of overcoming situations where people didn't think he could win. It wasn't when he jumped out there against Zora Foley and beat Zora Foley half to death. Easy money, calling the rounds and telling you when he was knocking you out just meant, look, man, I said 4, I'm gonna knock this dude out in 4. I'm going to knock him out in 6. That just tells you that he was way above those dudes, and they didn't have any business in the ring with him. But then he got to fighters where it was like, hold on, I can't call around against George Foreman. I can't call around against Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Kenny Norton. I can't do that. Sonny Liston, well, he did call around and Sonny Liston. He's like 8. Oh, I said 10. I was so great I cut it in 8. But that's what competition is. But when you see somebody overcome in competition, then it's like, oh, now the mentality we have now in boxing is that, okay, oh, it was horrific. That's what Kevin Iole, and fuck you, Kevin Iole. It's just, oh, come on, man. You're better than that, man. You know better than that, Kevin Iole. To call a fight disastrous because 2 fighters have closely contested fights means that to me, that means you don't have any love for actual competition. If Lomachenko is so much better than everybody at 135 pounds, he needs to move to 140. It ain't complicated. If he's so much better that nobody can touch him at 135, he's in the wrong weight class. To give fans a competitive fight, to push himself in that fight, he needs to be 140. And it ain't tough. If you got a kid who's scoring 50 points a game on the B team, the freshman B team, he don't need to be on the freshman B team. He needs to be on the freshman A team. And if he's scoring 45 on the freshman A team, he don't need to be on the freshman A team. He needs to be on the sophomore B team. And if he's scoring 35 on the sophomore B team, he don't need to be there either. Maybe he needs to be on varsity. And if he's scoring 50 points a game, 30 points a game on JV, he needs to be on varsity. And then if he's scoring 10, the guy that's scoring 50 on freshman B team is not going to be scoring more than likely 50 on varsity A team. But put him where he's supposed to be. Because then he's going to have to deal with tough things. He's going to have to deal with somebody that can guard him. He's going to have to deal with people that are quicker than him, people that are stronger than him. He's going to have to get better in that regard. But in boxing, and it's going to hurt, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to hurt. Too many Rocky Fielding fights. If Jamal Charlo was able to consistently fight guys that challenged him, made him be like, damn, dude, this cat keeps hitting me with his left hand. What am I supposed to do? Oh, okay. What I'm going to do is, I see him. Oh, I see him. There it comes. All right, I got it now. Now I know who he's going to throw it. All right, so how do I counteract this? Okay, jab, 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 jab. Whatever he's got to do he figured it out because he figured it out against Korobov. Now he takes that lesson. He's that much smarter when he goes in there and he deals with it again. If you run that fight back again with Korobov and Jamal Charlo is going to have a lot easier work on him. That's just how it goes, man. Look, Auntie D's, but Canelo just fought Triple G. What the fuck? That's why I hate all you. Look, dude, let me tell you this as a Canelo Alvarez fan. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about, okay? Gennady Golovkin is not Jamal Charlo. He's not Jamal Charlo. Those are 2 different people. Jamal Charlo brings something different to the table than Gennady Golovkin. If you're going to name worship Gennady Golovkin, then name worship him. Canelo Alvarez has every bit of ability to fight Charlo and beat Charlo. He has the ability to do that. I don't doubt that. But it's a tough fight for him. It's a tough fight for him. And bitches like you acting like because you think you know the outcome of the fight, that the fight shouldn't happen, are a problem in boxing. The fight should happen. How many other fighters are there at his weight class that can challenge the guy? You think he beat Gennady Golovkin? Great, he beat Gennady Golovkin. If he beat Gennady Golovkin, then great. What about Demetrius Andre? right? What about Billy Joe Saunders? What about Daniel Jacobs? If he beats all of them, then the question is going to be, but what about Charlo? And after that, it's going to be like, well, what about Charlo again? You got to, there's no static state of the greatest. You don't know what will happen to Charlo. Charlo could, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen to Canelo. Canelo could get into Gennady, Charlo might figure something out about Canelo. He might see something that somebody else doesn't see. But when you make excuses about the fight not happening, that makes me believe that you really don't think the guy can win. And I say that as a boxing fan because I've been there. The only time that I ever am resistant on a fight happening is when I don't want to see a guy lose. When I'm like, oh, I see some shit coming. You know, I really don't want to, like, I did not want to see Larry Holmes fight Ali because it's like, oh, God. And to this day, I've not watched that fight because I was like, no, please fight somebody else. Don't fight somebody good. You don't look that good. Your speech is slow. And I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to see him fight the fight. Whenever you act fellow Canelo, yes, you're not a Canelo Alvarez fan. You're not. You're just somebody making some bullshit up about Charlo. Man, Sugar Fantastic, dog. My man is 100 grand. What's good, my man? He said because he doesn't think he can win. Exactly. Or he might think he can win, but he's not convinced of it. You don't know. Like, I didn't know, dude. I swear to goodness. Man, when Deontay Wilder said he was going to fight Luis Ortiz and Luis Ortiz popped dirty for steroids, I was relieved. I was like, because I did not want to see him lose to Luis Ortiz. I'm like, I know what Luis Ortiz is. I'm watching Luis Ortiz's fight. That's a tough fight. You know there's a potential that this guy can lose. But he took the fight anyway when he didn't have to. And I was like, no. But he took it. I know the feeling. Just like you, Anthony Joshua, fuck out of here. Y'all see that. You see this dude putting people like, you see it. Don't act like you don't see it. I see the right hand from Anthony Joshua. I'm not silly. I saw what he eventually hit Alexander Povetkin with, but what he barely missed Alexander Povetkin with, like, in the third round. I was like, God, if that lands, it's lights out. He's going to take Povetkin's head off because Anthony Joshua is a dangerous fighter, man. He's a dangerous fighter. But it's not a foregone conclusion that he's going to beat Anthony Joshua, that he's going to beat Deontay Wilder. And that's why I tell you, you guys are full of it. You guys acting like you know these guys are going to win. And there's no way this guy, if that's the situation, the only time I'm going to say something like that is if, okay, Deontay Wilder is about to fight Jarrett Hurd. Jarrett Hurd is moving up to heavyweight because he feels like he wants a challenge. Okay. Jarrett, you're gonna get murdered, okay? You're gonna get murdered. That's not a close fight. You're not in that weight class. You're not good enough to deal. You take shots to the face and keep walking forward. If you letting Deontay Wilder tee off on your face, dude, you're gonna go to sleep. But all these other fights are close fights. But you guys act like it's like some of you guys just like you glorifying mismatches. I mean, you can glorify in mismatches, but understand that's what you're doing. You're glorifying in mismatches. Alexander Povetkin versus Anthony Joshua, there was no doubt what was going to happen in that fight, dude. Alexander Povetkin could hit Anthony Joshua flush on his fucking chin, and he's not going to knock him out. Anthony Joshua's going to get up, adjust. There'll be some tension, and eventually he's going to stop him. Shit, he was losing to David Price. Anyway, Sports Genius, if you feel like that, tell Canelo to make the fight. Dog, you're just trying to use this shit also. Oh, I haven't seen T'Challa Campbell in a while. What is T'Challa Campbell talking about, man? I'm not going to be on here too much longer, by the way. But I did want to. You're a moron, T'Challa. You're a fucking moron. What did I say about Lomachenko? I said Lomachenko won the fight. He had struggles. Same thing about Charlo. Nobody's crying and saying that Jose Pedraza got robbed. Jose Pedraza didn't get robbed. Jose Pedraza lost that fight. What do you want? It's the opposite. Your people are not giving Charlo the credit that they give Lomachenko. Lomachenko walks out the ring with sunglasses on and his eyes damn near shut. And you say he dominated? He did not dominate. He did not dominate Pedraza. That was not a dominant performance. That was a rough fight for Lomachenko. But you won't admit that was a rough fight for Lomachenko. And honestly, there wasn't too much difference between Jermall Charlo's fight with Korobov and Lomachenko's fight with Pedraza, except for the 2 knockdowns in a round. Pedraza had his moments. Korobov had his moments. There were problems Lomachenko had to overcome. There were problems with Jermall Charlo had to overcome. Lomachenko won that fight. Charlo won his fight. I'm saying the same thing. But you guys have a different standard for him. You had a different standard for Lomachenko. You're not celebrating Jermall Charlo's fight against Sebastian Heeland. Nobody's celebrating that. Nobody's saying, oh, he beat Sebastian Heeland. He was on one leg and he won the fight. Oh, he's this super great fight. What a devastating performance from Jermall Charlo. No, what they say about Sebastian Heeland is that he ain't nobody. He ain't nobody. Who did he beat? Sebastian Heeland is just who cares? Who is Sebastian Heeland? Who is he? Same thing that you guys say about every competitor that Jermall Charlo's fought. Who is he? I can say the same thing about Pedraza. Who the fuck is Pedraza? Pedraza is the dude who got his head spun around in a circle by Gervonta Davis. But what do I hear out of you guys after that? All of a sudden, you blow up Pedraza like Pedraza's some superstar. And say, oh, well, Pedraza, he couldn't make the weight against, couldn't make the weight against Gervonta Davis. He didn't really train well for the Gervonta Davis fight. It was just, Gervonta Davis really got exposed by Pedraza, but, Pedraza just gassed out because, he had to work overtime in his job because he was, picking apples and shit because he didn't have enough money. Whatever bullshit you got to come up with to do what you need to do to the opponent to make that fight look good. Lomachenko, I look at Lomachenko and I always say the same thing about Lomachenko. Lomachenko's a great fighter. And I liked Linares' fight with Lomachenko. I liked Pedraza's fight with Lomachenko because he's in his weight class now. He's now at 135 pounds. That's his weight class. Lomachenko, I was never a 126-pounder. He was never a 130-pounder. He was a big 130. He was a very, very big 126, which is if you look at him in the fight with Gary Russell Jr., the first thing you see is how much bigger Lomachenko is than him. Then Lomachenko moved up to 126, moved up to 130 pounds, and fought other guys that were smaller than him. And Mariaga, who moved up from 126, had never fought at 130. Guillermo Rigondeaux wasn't even there, but you can celebrate that. And I've seen you do it. You'll say, oh, he beat them. You guys thought Lomachenko was going to lose to Rigondeaux. No, I didn't. Rigondeaux's a 118-pounder. But you're going to be, anything he does is cool. But just think for two seconds, you tell me that if Jermall Charlo fought this year, right? Fought Danny Garcia. This is Jermall Charlo. If Jermall Charlo had fought Danny Garcia, Austin Trout, and Saddam Ali, would you give him Fighter of the Year for that if he was the WBC champion? Would you? Hell no. You'd be like, this dude just fought, come on, man. Danny Garcia, Danny Garcia is 147 pounder, 147 pounder. And Austin Trout's 154 pounder. And Saddam Ali is really 140 pounder who got lucky and got a 154 pound title fighting at 160. That's what you'd say. But you were cool with Lomachenko beating Sosa, who was a journeyman at 130 pounds, who's a journey 130 pounder. Nicholas Walters, who's 126 pounds. That wasn't even Nicholas Walters. Nicholas Walters was this year before that. Miguel Mariaga, who he just lost, I think, to Oscar Valdez at 130 pounds, at 126 pounds. And Guillermo Rigondeaux, who fought at 122 pounds. But they gave him Fighter of the Year for that. There's no way in the world you give Jamal Charlo some credit for some shit like that. And you would be killing Deontay Wilder if he fought, if his claim to fame for Fight of the Year was beating the 175-pound champion, Andre Ward, then beating another guy who was a cruiserweight, beating Mike Perez, and then beating a journeyman heavyweight in what's that dude's name? That Luis Ortiz just beat the brakes off of, and people are acting like it was a hard fight. Fuck out of here, dude. Y'all just make, you have double standards, okay? But not really, you don't even have standards. What you have is a fighter that you want to represent and fighters that you want to tear down. I pay more credit to Lomachenko than you do. Because I told you, I think he wins the fight. I thought he won the fight. I thought that was a good fight for Lomachenko because he had to overcome adversity. He had to overcome somebody that knew what he was going to do. The fact of the matter is that Jose Pedraza came with a good game plan. He wasn't committing to his punches. He would change it. So there was no angles he could change. He never overcommitted. So Lomachenko could never get behind his right shoulder to hit him here where he couldn't see it. He would be like tap, 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 shift with him. As soon as he would pay more attention to Lomachenko's feet than his hands. Like tap, tap, oh, you shift, I shift. But then Lomachenko did what? He stepped up, went to plan B, same plan B he had, by the way, against Jorge Linares, went to the body. But the difference was he couldn't knock out. He couldn't stop Jorge. He couldn't stop Pedraza to the body like he could stop Linares to the body. The next question is, that's why I don't even like the Mikey Garcia Errol Spence fight. The next step was for Mikey Garcia and Lomachenko was for them to fight. Man, Rigondeaux tried to get a paycheck, man. These dudes, they blackballed him, man, for years. None of those other dudes would fight him, and they let him get away with it. That's why I'm saying, dude, do you want competition or do you not want competition? It was a close fight with Jermell Charlo, and Tony Harrison. It was a close fight between Jermell Charlo and Korborov. Those are close fights. Do you want that or not? If you throw the dudes underneath the bus because they had a close fight, don't expect other ones to have close fights. And the only way they can get away with not having close fights is to do a Danny Garcia. Either the top guy for all the money or somebody they know they can beat. One or the other. But you're not going to get close. You're not going to be able to find out who the best fighter is because you're going to have some of the best fighters. You'll never know who they are because they don't have a promoter bigging them up, and they won't have the fighters that they can give a difficult fight to even give them a shot. And even listen to the logic of these dudes. Listen to the logic. They'll say, what has Jermell Charlo done to deserve Canelo Alvarez fight? But they're fine with Rocky Fielding. Well, why are you fine with Rocky Fielding and not Jermell Charlo? Oh, risk reward. Jermell Charlo's too much of a risk for not enough money. And Rocky Fielding is a lot of money and absolutely no risk. So, hey, man, I understand why he would fight Rocky Fielding. But Jermell Charlo doesn't deserve. It's like Jermell Charlo was too good to deserve a shot. So, do you think Jamal Charlo is worse than Rocky Fielding? Why does Rocky Fielding deserve a shot and Jamal Charlo doesn't? Jamal Charlo got a secondary WBC belt. And don't get it twisted. Canelo Alvarez did not fight for a 168-pound championship. That's the WBA regular belt. You get it. You know. Grace Terrell, Fannon, the robbery scare will now make fighters fight harder for the KO and keep us from seeing fighters trying to survive and other fighter. Let me see. The robbery scare will now make fighters fight harder for the KO and keep us from seeing fighters trying to survive and other fighters letting them make it. Maybe. Or you could see that they just won't take a risk. Or they just won't, because you blast on them for losing a fight. Maybe they just won't take the risk. What do you think is more likely? That they're going to do more of what Jermell Charlo tried to do? Jermell Charlo tried to knock the dude out. Jermell Charlo was going after him, being aggressive, going after him, trying to get the knockout. Deontay Wilder was going after Tyson Fury, being aggressive, trying to get the knockout. Neither Jermell Charlo nor Deontay Wilder were trying to make that fight go to the cards. The robbery is not what worries me. It's the people saying that if you lose a fight that's close, your career is done and you don't deserve another shot. That just tells me, if I'm advising you, I'm telling you don't take the fight. Sit around. Do what Anthony Joshua's doing. Sit around. Fight fights that you know you can win. There's not a fight that Anthony Joshua's been in that he didn't know he could win, other than maybe Vladimir Klitschko. But what other fight has Anthony Joshua been in that you didn't know he was going to win? You can't tell me anybody went to sleep overnight wondering what was going to happen with Alexander Povetkin, or what was going to happen with Joseph Parker or Carlos Takam. And you know who he's going to fight. He's going to fight Dillian White. Unless they just try to get spiteful and they're like, well, it's way too obvious to fight Dillian White because everybody was going to say, Dillian White, he got up to the ring with Dillian White. You get my point, man. Fannon, they finna to stall out Debo. Oh, you know they are, dog. I mean, come on, man. And that's the risk. The risk isn't that fighters are gonna, because that's almost like arguing that it's good that people get robbed or not robbed. I don't even care. Tony Harrison, I'm not arguing with the decision for Tony Harrison. Congratulations, Tony Harrison. Congratulations, man. Polish off your belt. You're a world champion. You got a 4-match rematch clause. Go back and figure out how you can repeat it. Jermell Charlo, you got a rematch in 4 months. Take some time out. Count your money. Figure out, film study. Figure out how you're going to win 8 rounds convincingly. Figure out how you're going to win 8 rounds, because that's what you need. You need to win 8 rounds convincingly. What rounds are you going to win? How are you going to do it? How are you going to neutralize what he does? Beat the dude in a boxing match. And if you win your rematch, cool. You win your rematch, cool. Yeah, but it was a fight I enjoyed too. Absolutely. AJ probably plays in those Jamie Foxx backyard pickup games too. I mean, dude, I just have no time for that dude, man. Yeah, he said, I love boxing. It's unpredictable. That's what it is. And just accept it. I mean, not you, but I'm saying, man, look, man, ain't nothing wrong with losing a fight. There's nothing wrong with it. You can have a bad night. But that don't mean you don't deserve another fight. What kind of sport is it where you got to stay undefeated? For real. Where's the rule that you gotta stay undefeated? You don't. Anyway, man, it is what it is, man. I didn't mean to get on here that long. This bitch, dude. Oh, you're the clown, dog. Drew King. You're a troll. I don't care what you think. You're the dummy that doesn't know how to spell Vlad. Let me tell you again, Drew King. Vlad is with a W, dummy. WLAD. And if you consistently misspell Vladimir Klitschko, Vlad, nobody's going to take you seriously. You came to this channel, your comment got shot down before it even got out, dog. This ain't laugh at first. It's my channel. You're a joke who doesn't know very much about boxing. I don't know how old you are, but you were a clown. I enjoyed clowning you, but you wouldn't even admit it. Would you? You just kept coming back and kept coming back and kept coming back. Dog, grow up, learn how to spell Vladimir Klitschko's name. Because if you do Vlad, everybody right away is going to know you don't know who, even know who he is. We're not talking about Vladimir Putin. I mean, this ain't DJ Vlad. I mean, what do you think? What do you think the dude is? You think the dude is the cat with the hip hop radio show? You're a joke, dude. And I mushed you in that argument. Mushed you. Like I told you, you suck at this. You're not good at it. You don't know boxing. You don't know how to debate. And you don't know how to just take an L like a man. Just take an L. Vladimir Klitschko was 20 in his 21st year. You said, dummy, what's the difference? Tyson Fury beat the same guy that Vlad beat. Same guy that Joshua beat. Joshua beat the same guy Fury beat. Yeah, the guy that was in his 68th and 69th fight, who had not won a fight in 2 years and had been a professional for 21 years and had already been knocked out 3 times. And you, dummy, want to argue, well, Vlad was slick enough, is smart enough a fighter to overcome it. There are plenty of very smart and knowledgeable boxing trainers who are 60 years old and they ain't beating nobody in a boxing ring. It's a physical sport. Vladimir Klitschko was over the hill, way over the hill when he lost that fight. Way over the hill. He was over the hill when he lost against Tyson Fury. He was over the hill when he went the distance with Brian Jennings before that. But most importantly, dummy, it's Vlad with a W, not a V. Moron. What did you say again? He's trash. What about Fury getting robbed by Wilder, corruption? You got no place in boxing. He didn't get robbed, dog. He didn't get robbed. That's you thinking he got robbed. You're a bum. You're a dosser. You're a dosser. Give me a wrench. Nah, dog. I got to see Carl Phillips Warren one time, homie. This ain't my first time around this, dog. Oh, somebody got hidden. Yeah, King Diesel. Quas, you came underneath the name, huh? Dude, he is a motherfucker. Moron. Vlad, and I tried to correct him. It's WALD. He said, oh, it was the same year. They fought the same. It was a year away. It's the same amount that he always fights. 2016 was the only year since Vladimir Klitschko turned pro in 1995. He turned pro in 1995. Okay? Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, I do believe Mike Tyson were still fighting when Vladimir Klitschko turned pro. Okay? His contemporaries are Samuel Peter, Hasim Rahman. Those are the guys. Corey Sanders. That's who he was fighting, man. He was old. Hey, thanks. Hey, thanks, David. Thanks, Brian David. Favorite? Oh, Michael Jackson fine? Dancing Machine. I think that's the Jacksons. Dancing Machine is my favorite Michael Jackson song. Why was that dude, even though he was never undisputed, they tried to compare his record to Joe. Yeah, no, he ain't that. Ali was actually pretty humble when it came to like personal stuff, dude. Like to be that big, I mean, but he'll tell you what he gonna do, dog. Carl Phillips, how are you serious? As much as on here when I'm not at work. What? Oh, I can't do it, dog. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't give you a wrench because too many people act fools. I gotta see it. You could be. We just booted some cats off the channel. Cats come right back, and you could be the same dude that got thrown off, dog. Asking for a wrench, trying to ruin it. I can't do it, dog. If I see you enough, I'll do it. Oh, crazy legs. Now I know you're the same troll, huh? The bell end. Oh, that's that corny UK history. Let me tell you something. I'm glad you said bell end. Bell end, okay? For people that don't know, a bell end is him calling me a DICK head. And he's the same dude who I blocked, who came back under another name. Let me tell you UK dudes this. Never, ever, 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 ever try to insult Americans because you suck at it. When you say you chat shit, mate, that's funny. I'm like, that motherfucker said chat shit. Who the fuck is he? Who are you, Sir Belvedere or some shit? You sound like Sir Belvedere, okay? You sound like somebody's fucking butler. Nobody gives a fuck about you insulting us. Okay, Dosser, it doesn't work. Okay, people be like, Dosser? What the fuck is a Dosser? Did you just call me a Dosser? Bloody wanker? You're chatting shit, you bloody wanker Dosser bellend? Dude, that shit is whack. Okay, you're not good at it. Okay, you're not good at it. You're not good at it. You speak too close to the king's English. Okay, you sound like a butler. Okay, we don't care. Dude, come on, man. You sound like the Revenge of the Nerds trying to insult somebody. Your whole dialect is bad for it, dude. Stop. Okay? Oh, Fannon the bellend. Dude, the fuck? If somebody got to go to a dictionary to get your insult, then you suck at it. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Please, dog. Seriously. He said, what is a fosser? It's a dosser. A dosser is a bum. You're a dosser. You bloody dosser? Dude, that's why they thinking like if you gotta sit here, it's like you're cussing somebody out in Chinese. Don't nobody know? And you sound like a butler. Okay? When we grew, every time when I was young and I was listening to British accents, it was a butler. Okay? It was somebody in a suit and tie, and walking around in the middle of the afternoon with a tuxedo on, trying to correct people's English and tell them to stick their pinky out when they drink tea. You're just not well suited to that. You're not well suited to it. Okay? Just like in America, if they ever want to make somebody sound intelligent, no matter what they say on TV, they'll give them a British accent. They'll be like, okay, I know it sounded stupid. I know what he's saying is stupid, but it's a British accent. So, it'll get over. They'll think it's smart. They'll be like, ooh, he sounds so sophisticated. Like, would you like some Grey Poupon? Will you please, two Rolls Royces pulling next? Will you pass the Grey Poupon? My master would like the Grey Poupon, sir. Dog, this shit don't work. Okay? The guttural instinct, the guttural language, that's what's funny. Okay? You got somebody from a poor neighborhood talking shit about you. They calling you all kind of this, that, and the other thing. It's like, damn, what the fuck is that? That shit is hilarious. You might bust over. You either will cry out of embarrassment or you'll bust a gut laughing. We're not laughing with you when you insult somebody. We're laughing at you It's not. It just doesn't work that way. Okay. It might be funny too. See, what you guys are good at is dry humor. Dry humor. Like, oh, that was a joke. Oh, how clever. Like, oh, Sherlock Holmes was joking. Oh, that ha ha ha. That's what we do. If like we think y'all like Sherlock Holmes, like, was that a joke? Was that a joke? Yeah, it was a joke. What did he mean by it? Dry humor doesn't play here, dog. It doesn't play here, man. Dog, we laughing at you. Oh, dog. Chocolate, exactly. Chocolate brownies. I'm gonna love this chocolate brownie. Chocolate brownie? You gonna slap somebody with some dessert? I mean, I'm gonna slap you with my angel food cake. I mean, what the fuck is that funny? Oh my god, man. show him to the wine cellar. On the real though, seriously, man, y'all can't do it. I'm just letting you know. You guys might be very funny in the UK and be able to talk a real good game, but your humor, it's not the same. It's not, you know what I mean? Like if you want to call somebody something, like you got to insult somebody, you got to use like their vernacular. And we speak the same language, but y'all just not very funny. What can I say? Grissa, that sounded funny. You gonna hand him? You said he gonna name your hand chocolate brownie? Like, did that motherfucker just say chocolate brownie? The fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Sunday school or some shit? I mean, like, he said that would have worked for Kel on a fat chick in Mississippi. That bitch thinking, give me the fucking brownie. Oh shit, big dog. Seriously, you're terrible, man. But just to let you know, dude, you guys are at a very, very serious disadvantage with the guttural insults. Okay, it doesn't work that way. You guys, for most people, you'll sound very, very like people will give you credit for being smarter than you actually are. Like it took me a while to realize that Anthony Joshua was kind of a dummy. Like I was listening to him and I was like, because your speech is so clear, right? And it's closer to the King's English, the King's English. So I'm listening to Anthony Joshua. I'm like, okay, sounds like an intelligent young man, speaks clearly. I understand every word coming out of his mouth. And then one day he said, with a straight face, what's 60% of 100? I was like, what? Oh, 50? That dude said, what is 60% of 100? 50? I was like, oh, it's the language. All right, it's the language. But then you get some cat from the hood, and you fuck around, talk to him long enough, you'd be like, damn, this dude is sharp as shit. Marshall Simmons said, Fannon the Don, I love the white AJ snub. Funny. What is that? What was that, man? AJ actually did a good job commentating the white fight. I thought, though, yeah, because he has very clear speech. Dude, it's hard to have a British accent and not be able to understand you. Because that's the language. We speak English improperly. I know that I speak English improperly. I'm from the United States. We speak guttural English. That's what it is. And cats would always be like, oh, you speak bad. This accent, black people in the South got these thick accents. And I was like, dude, none of y'all speak like clean. None of you speak like the Queen Elizabeth, okay? We don't sound anything like them, and that's the language. The way they speak the language is the way you're supposed to speak the language. And if you don't sound like that, shut up. But as a benefit of speaking a guttural form of the language, we're a lot more fun. We're a lot more funny than you, okay? A little less tight-assed, just funnier than you. They got some good English comics, though, but it's dry wit. Very dry, very hard to get, like hard to be like, oh, you're never going to like bust out, like rarely bust out gut laugh. More like, oh, that was funny how he turned that situation to his advantage. Very clever, very clever. But not, ain't no Richard Pryor moments going on, dog, okay? Yeah, it is a little less tight ass. That's it. It's just, you know, we don't say shit like mate. Like you chat shit, mate. Chat? Who? Nobody in America says chat unless they're trying to be pompous. Okay? When you say chat in America, you're trying to be pompous. You're like, this motherfucker really just say chat? Like everybody knows what chat is, but we're not going to say chat. Would you like to chat? Hey, 78 in Black Fight Fan TV. Would you like to chat with me? You know, over some crumpets? That shit ain't gonna work, dude. I mean, it's like, huh? We don't do that, okay? We don't do that. All of that Dawsa, that's why you think that he was more entertaining than Deontay Wilder, because I think some of the UK people were like under the illusion that we understood what he meant. When he said, you're a bloody Dawsa, people were like, is that a tampon or something? What does he mean? What's a bloody Dawser? And is it bloody? I mean, like, what the fuck does bloody mean? Is bloody like fucking? I mean, it's like, you're a fucking bum. Okay, just compare the two. Hey, you a fucking bum. You're a bloody Dawser. Okay, you get how, man, you a fucking bum versus you're a bloody Dawser. One is, bloody Dawser's like super hoity-toity for us, okay? Y'all are too hoity-toity. That's why we don't believe you, okay? And why AJ will lose so quick to believe AJ don't want Deontay Wilder. Because he sounds, well, I'm willing to take the fight. I'm willing to take the fight. Let me tell you. Look, you willing to take the fight? Motherfucker, you want to fight the motherfucker or not? That's not how we do. Do you look soft? You know what I mean? You say, why? Yeah, bloody is fucking. Yeah, but if you gotta then say it then. If bloody means that, you gotta say it. Okay? You can't. Bloody, I know that's the context you're using it in. Like, you'd be like, you're a bloody Dawser. What you mean is you're a fucking bum. Okay? Then you gotta say you're a fucking bum. Okay? Here. We got it. Wherever your guttural level is, our gutter is here. Our gutter is lower than yours. Okay? We're more grimy. Like everything about us is more grimy. Like we're not going to have people standing out by the White House in, you know, what do you call that shit? Like nutcracker sweet suits and not saying nothing, carrying batons. Cats ain't trying to carry no batons. Like this motherfucker got a baton. Oh, we running through this dude. A baton? Hell no. Dude, I don't even think policemen have a baton next to their taser, next to their gun, in the rifle in the car, in the tank, in the shit. We don't fuck with y'all. That's why we think, just giving you guys a lesson. You sound soft, okay? Here, just like me. If I'm speaking in the manner that I speak, and I'm dealing with somebody like on the west side of Chicago or somebody from Inglewood in Chicago, they'll be like, did that dude walk in here with some fucking sandals? Like, sandals? Dog, you must be sweet, motherfucker. You wearing some sandals? Like, they'll be like, he's from the suburb. He's a mark. We can get him. He's soft. I ain't soft, but that's what they'll take it as. You all got like that in spades. Like, you got a real big problem with that. Don't know about it. That's why it's so hard for Jamaicans, though. Now, speak some patois. Then cats might be like, oh, fuck, I don't even understand what he's saying. That patois, if you Jamaican, speak Jamaican. I mean, speak patois. Mumble that shit up like fucking Bob Marley, and they'll be like, oh, all right, yeah, that dude might be real. But you stand around sounding like Mary Poppins. Nobody's scared of Mary Poppins, dog. And y'all sound like Mary Poppins to us. Okay? Mary Poppins, chitty chitty bang bang, shit like that. That's what we think. Mary Poppins, chitty chitty bang bang. Sherlock Holmes. Ain't nobody scared. Ain't nobody sweating that, dog. Hell yeah, dog. That's the last thing they got. Tasers and okay. Shit. A dog in the car. All kind of stuff, man. I'm just telling you, dude. You can't. I'm not trying to talk bad about you either. Hey, Marston said, Fannon the Don. Hey, Dawser is what the above called the jobless bloody is like 17th century bullshit bloody. Yeah, exactly. Fuck. You sound like Harry Potter. They don't even like Harry Potter movies. They be like, man, fucking Harry Potter's soft as fuck. I hope Vladimir fucking Expecto Patromo, bitch. Avada Kedavra, bitch. The motherfuckers ain't read, man. Harry Potter sounds soft. It's just what it is, dog. Straight up. I'm just telling you. I'm trying to tell you, dog. That's what they sound like to me. Everybody walking around with kid gloves on, yes, sir. Oh, say they don't use tasers until we shot and handcuffed. Hell yeah, they pull out the tasers after that. Like, boom, handcuff, taser, baton. In that exact order, dude. Nobody trying to feel all that, dog. Nobody feeling that. But anyway, man, I got to go out of here, man. I got to get, but seriously, man, that's what we think. You chitty, chitty, bang, bang, dog. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. What is the other one? Superfallicadualistic dog, that's what we be thinking about with y'all, dog. Okay? John 99 said, you make it seem like the U.S. is tougher than the UK. I'm from the UK, and I can tell you that that's not true. Let me tell you, dude, I'm not saying it's any tougher. It's all relative, dude. It's relative. What I'm telling you is this. Your crap talking sounds soft in translation. You cannot say chat in a sentence and not sound pompous in America. If you say bloody chat, it's over with. Who said? Nobody says chat except for somebody who's sitting in like I said, sitting in their Rolls Royce with some Grey Poupon talking about fuck, nobody does that, dude. That's what I'm saying. Some cat came there's like, you're a bell end. A bell end? Bell end? Do you think the fuck is that, dog? What's a bell end? Then I did the research. Oh, it's a dickhead. He called me a dickhead. If you're going to insult American, call an American a dickhead. If I call you one, you know what I mean, right? If I was like, you're a fucking idiot, okay, you would know what I meant. If you call me a bloody turnip head or something like that, I'd be like, what are you talking about, dog? We translate to you. You don't translate to us, okay? I don't know if it's the hip hop generation or whatever, but when you listen, we know what you're talking about. You ain't never heard the Migos talking about nigga you chatting shit. You ain't never heard no world-class rapper talking about I'm just chatting. Me and my mate just chatting. I'm chatting with my mate. Nobody does that shit. What? Nobody would ever say that. But you literally say mates chatting. It's hard for you to understand. But I know you're not soft. At the end of the day, I know you're not soft. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying you speak the King's English. You're a little closer to the King's English. And as you know, the further you get away from proper English, the more guttural you sound. Right? And we just happen to be a lot further away from it than you. So you have to understand that when you talk crap to somebody in America, that your most guttural stuff sounds highbrow to us. You are literally coming to my channel saying, Fannon, you're chatting shit, mate. Mate, you chat shit. Mate. First of all, mate sounds really friendly. Chatting seems like, I don't know, we had a debutante ball or some shit. I mean, a job interview or something. I don't know what that is. When we like, are you mad at me or are you complimenting me? I don't get it. You know, I'm just saying when you insult me, be cognizant of that. Yeah, Tito Carlisle, mate, that's what it sounds like. Like nobody talks like that. Like that's too soft, you know? Anyway, man, I ain't going. Oh, King did say UK fighters never say they want to catch bodies. John 99, UK slang is different, but dude, we use the same words. We don't use mate. You're not Australian? Like, that's Australian, that's the UK. Mate to us sounds You get us though. I ain't never heard anybody get cussed out. Any British cat getting cussed out, not knowing what them dudes was saying to him. Okay, but I don't understand patois. It just happens to be that patois. Somebody call you Rasta Bumbleclot Bocce Boy. I was like, did he just call him a Rust? What did he call him? A Rostclot Bumbleclot Bocce Boy. What the fuck is that? They just sound like. Anyway, I'm just playing at this point, dog. Really. Me and my wife, mate. Over here, mate is girlfriend. Yeah, like you're mating. But anyway, you get it, man. Just off these baked goods. Hey, Ty Chi Gobash, you know what it is? It's you getting thrown out, dog. I'm out of here, dude. I was just having fun. But the last thing I'm gonna do, Chai Mash Gomash, is to kick you out. We're just having fun, dude. It ain't either one. Happy holidays, dude. Happy holidays. I see what you mean. Some of it slang sounds odd to me too. Yeah, it's seriously, you not John. I'm glad you said that because I know y'all ain't soft now. Come on, man. Cats go through too much stuff to be soft. We know the struggle's real everywhere. Okay, struggle real for everybody. It's just when people try to make fun of me, it's like you got to Americanize it because you're not going to really affect my emotions if you don't Americanize it. Like there are some cats that make me mad because I was like, did this motherfucker just call me that? Like, bruh, like harsh. You know what I mean? Just sounds more harsh. But it is what it is, man. Hey, man, Alfonso, come on, man. Happy holidays to you as well, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. But look, I'm gonna get out of here. I had a lot of fun, man. Thank you for all y'all coming, man. And may y'all see a million more. I don't want to see a million more of these holidays. What's about 6 holidays for about 40 years? Okay. I'll take about 240 more of the mugs. I want about maybe 240, 300 more holidays, dude, and I'm straight. 9 years old, I want to be reborn, okay? I want to be reborn as a very wealthy black man. What happened? What happened here? Oh, he said off to feed the dossers. Hey, Merry Christmas, Tito Carlisle. Said we're tougher. Yeah, I mean, there's some UK cats that are tough. I'm sure. Gotta be, dude. Gotta be, man. Got to be. Has to be. You know what I mean? There's hard times everywhere. I'm just talking about the language. I ain't talking about the people. Anyway, with that, the insults be trash, though. Y'all not good at insulting, dog. If your boxing is like your shit talking is, pick up darts, my friend. Stick to darts. I like UK drill. What's UK drill? Okay, I have a jolly old fat red guy that's Christmas. Exactly, man. Have a jolly Christmas, man. And with that, I'm out. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to the second live stream.